Yeah, there's a few guys based off, whether it be injury, experience, workload, based off of that. And so, a few guys did not participate in practice today, but they'll do the rest of the day.
When you say injury, do you mean like injury history? Like there's guys you want to pay attention to?
Anyone who's got something to monitor, and so we'll continue to do that for all of them.
Is anyone of those actually banged up? Or
no injury issues right now.
Sorry,
he's an excellent player. I love his work ethic. I love the detail that he plays with. He's done an excellent job out there today. He certainly had a couple opportunities to take advantage of it. So he's been really, really reliable.
I know we're going to always ask quarterback questions. How do you think Haener did today running with the first team?
Yeah, Jake did a nice job. I think it's important for all those guys to get different exposures and be around different players and different settings and situations. And so I feel like all those guys responded. I thought this was our cleanest operating practice, which certainly you expect in the third day. But our quarterbacks just operated at a really high level, communicated. They pushed the tempo, so felt good.
With Mason, he had a really good camp last year in the quieter regular season. What's the key to translate after camp?
That's a great question. I think you just continue to build. You're going to have opportunities in training camp, you're going to have opportunities in preseason, and then once the season comes, those opportunities will present themselves. So, he's continued to head in the right direction. I'm really impressed by him.
How do you think he fits into the wide receiver room as a complement to Cooks, Rashid, and Olave?
Yeah. I think he's certainly got juice. He's got the ability to separate from guys. Again, he's a really smart player, which I think is really, really important when you start moving guys around and all that sort of stuff. His ability to understand all those different pieces is really critical. So he's done a really good job, and he'll compete just like all.
This might be a dumb question, but like from yesterday to today, all the stuff like really clean. Stay apart. Like how do you guys clean it up? Like what's the process?
Yeah, we go through our process each and every day, just this routine of practice. The players get a little rehab and recovery time, and then they'll get into practice review. We'll go through that, and then the walkthrough is really our chance to correct everything that happened in practice, because there's going to be mistakes, and that's certainly a part of training camp, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we can't have repeat mistakes, repeat issues, and so our guys are doing a really good job of cleaning that up and then getting to the install in the evening.
And then like taking a guy out after a false start, like that, you just want him to feel it and know there's a consequence?
Yeah, there's consequences related to everything, and so we want to make sure everyone's held responsible and feels the impact that has.
Kellen, what do you see out of Daniel Stutzman, the rookie linebacker? What do you like about it?
Yeah, done a really nice job. I think he plays with extreme effort. He plays really, really confident, and I've really enjoyed seeing him just take command and communicate. I think that's the biggest part of being one of those backers is you're in the middle of the whole thing, and you got to be able to communicate with everyone, make sure everyone's on the same page, and he's taking advantage of these reps.
I know the physicality is going to ramp up here when we get to next week. So, in these first couple of practices, how do you evaluate defensively as a whole of what is it? Just are they assigned to sound? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? How do you start the evaluation at this stage?
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get the ultimate physical evaluation. What you're going to get is the initial assignment. Are they responsibly sound? Do they have tremendous effort? The finish of every play. We certainly evaluate that part of this thing. And so are they finishing? Are they attacking the football, which is such a big part of the defense? Creating those habits that lead up to once you get the pads on, now the physicality ramps up and all those other things continue to rise.
I think Shaheed back with his speed and maybe his explosive play making abilities as well. What do you see out of him?
Yeah, he's done a really nice job, and you can definitely feel his speed and his juice, and I think it's all about just getting comfortable in a new system. There's certainly new words, new language, new responsibilities, and all these receivers have to go through that process. And he's doing a really, really good job of preparing, and then we'll find that package, find those roles for him, and he'll take advantage of it.
When you have multiple kind of elite speed receivers, does that impact kind of how you approach offense in terms of, okay, we need to get these guys into space? We've seen reverses and stuff.
You certainly want to give them opportunities with the football, whether it be, there's different ways, deep shots, the kind of the jet sweep type stuff, and the arounds and all those different things. And so we'll continue to utilize those. And, right now we're really focused on getting the scheme introduced, where guys line up. It's kind of the introductory phase. As you get closer and closer to the season, we'll start getting very, very specific as far as what responsibilities each guy will have.
Is that stuff you'd like to do in the past, or is it kind of taking advantage of, adapting to your personnel?
There's always value to it. You certainly love to incorporate in some capacity, and so every team's different. Every skill set's different. Certainly we feel like we have some guys who can play in the space game really, really well.
They got a taste of the rain today, just a little bit. How do you think it can?
Yeah, it's really just the field goal kicking period. So Blake was really happy about that. So he got the rain for 3 minutes, and then it was out of here. So that stuff's all good.
You kind of appreciate that though, because that's something that could happen in a game, and that's that element.
Yeah, that's kind of humorous when it did occur, but yeah, that'll be a part of training camp, and if it's just a little sprinkle, we're going to keep going through it, and it creates a little bit of a environment for guys to be challenged.
You got to match that with Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
Maybe you got to always out there. Yeah.
Kellen, can you talk a little bit more about Jake Haener? Maybe his personality. Yesterday he's up here, he's calling himself Underdog Wolf. What's he like? He's a little bit unique, isn't he? He's great with the media.
Yeah, Jake's done a tremendous job. Obviously, his preparation is second to none. He puts in a ton of work. He's got great confidence in himself. He's got great command as far as leading the group that he's a part of, and so he's done a really nice job. Obviously, people didn't get to see him as much during the OTA process just because of the injury, but he's done a really, really good job, and he'll continue to compete just like the other guys.
But is he fun to have in that quarterback?
Oh yeah, Jake's awesome. Jake brings some juice, some energy. He's done an awesome job, and I think the QB room is a unique room. You spend a lot of time together. You're competing together, but you're spending a ton of time together, and so those guys bonding, connecting with each other while competing at the same time is really important. And these guys bring it out of each other.
Did Noah's dance? Does it already happen, or is that later today?
Today.
Think about Juwan and how he's progressed throughout the
Juwan? Yeah. Juwan's done awesome. His ability to play in the pass game certainly we recognize, but as we build this thing, his ability to get in the run game, get involved in whatever role and capacity he has, he's going to keep building on that. Really
tight end, obviously, on the point of emphasis now with the Russell lately. How's Michael Pickens in his role?
Yeah, keep making plays. That's all you can ask for is you get opportunities, you make plays, and Michael's done that throughout OTAs, certainly throughout training camp. He finished practice with a big-time catch down the middle, and so awesome job by him.
When you bring in a guy like Blackman, are you specifically searching for someone because you lost that skill set that Tyron had, or is it more open-ended of what you're looking for?
I think the first part is you want really good football players. You focus on that part, and then we'll figure out some of the scheme components. But anytime you do lose the player, you'd like to, fill in the gaps, as closely as you can. And so we feel like, we accomplished both those things. We got a really, really good player who's played a lot of football at a really, really high level, and certainly his position where he'll play certainly complements and tends to lean towards how Tyron played.
He's coming off that shoulder. Is he all right?
Yeah, we're feeling good, really good with that.
When you sign a guy after camp starts and he comes in to practice next day without being part of the install, what are you expecting on that first couple of days?
There's a stress component for all these guys as they go through this. When you hop in the middle of training camp, there's some extra time spent preparing, whether it be with a coach or on your own. And so the guys that we've signed, they're veterans. They understand how this thing works. When you play a lot of football, a lot of times it just comes down to language. You've played a lot of the similar schemes at other places. It's just connecting the dots of what the language is and how it's going to apply.
Thanks, Kellen. Appreciate it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.